Republican Secretary of State Frank LaRose joins us now with what they're doing in that state. Mr. Secretary of State, welcome to Fox News.
Thanks, Eric. Great to be here.
Yeah, welcome. How can you reassure our voters, our viewers about the vote and reassure that the election in your state will be fair, honest, and credible?
Well, it's important for Ohioans to know the facts. We take election security very seriously here in the Buckeye State. We want to make it easy to vote and hard to cheat. We've accomplished that over the years. And one of the things that we do is simply following the law. This isn't something that we just do at election season. You see, we work year round to maintain accurate voter rolls. We take deceased voters off the rolls on a monthly basis. We work hard to make sure that only citizens can be registered to vote. And in those rare instances when we catch people committing election fraud, we refer them for prosecution because we take it seriously.
How big a problem is election fraud? How many cases have you had recently?
Well, during my administration, we have referred 555 cases either to the Attorney General or to county prosecutors. And that's something that, we take great pride in. The fact that out of 8 million registered voters in the state, that's a relatively small number. But, I'm a reservist in the military. And when we evaluate risk, you consider not only how likely is it to occur, but how catastrophic is it when that occurs. And in the case of voter fraud, it is unlikely, but it's catastrophic. We don't want any Ohioan to think that Ohioans are fraudulently casting ballots. And so we go after it. That's one of the reasons why we created the Public Integrity Division at our office just recently to do a more thorough job of investigating those cases.
Yeah, what does that division do? And how does your office like dispel some of the myths? People think that voting machines are, widely connected to the internet and someone could push some buttons and change the votes, we heard about the falsehoods of massive vote dumpings at, 2 o'clock in the morning to change an election result. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so one of the things that our Public Integrity Division is going to do is consolidate some of the operations that our office has long been responsible for, such as auditing campaign finance reports and that work of maintaining accurate voter rolls. But the exciting thing that we're adding is full-time investigators so that when we get reports of election fraud, we can put people that have a law enforcement background on the case so that they can actually build the evidence and then turn it over to a county prosecutor and secure a prosecution. I'm here in Dayton at the Montgomery County Board of Elections, where they've just wrapped up what's called logic and accuracy testing. That's where they test all the voting machines. It's a group of R's and D's that do this. Of course, voting machines in Ohio are never connected to the internet, and we audit every election because 100% of our ballots have a hard copy, dead tree piece of paper that's associated with it. So we reconcile those electronic results that we get on election night with the hard copy paper. That is the post-election audit that I've ordered every one of our boards of elections to do in every election.
So let me say that again. They go through it twice and they count on the paper. How reliable has that been? And does that show that the system electronically does work properly?
Yes, it does. In fact, I'm proud to report that in 2020, we had a 99.98% accuracy rate. Listen, I've had some people say that we should get rid of voting machines and just use paper. They claim that you can't cheat with paper. Well, that's not true either. Chicago in the 1960s, I think, proved that you can cheat with paper. And so we don't trust either one as the final answer. We have the electronic tabulation that gives us those rapid results that Ohioans want to know on election night. And then we go back 3 weeks later and we audit the paper. And that means Democrats and Republicans working together, count those, compare the two, and they have to reconcile. And again, we've been well over 99.9% throughout my administration.